Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we have a very special topic. It's a little secret that not many people talk about, but it can change your life. How to think in English. I know you're curious. Thinking in English sounds amazing, right? Imagine no more translating in your head, no more pauses, just speaking English naturally. But it takes a little practice, and today I'm going to share the easiest way to start. While listening to this, you'll learn new words and how to make simple sentences with them. We'll practice together, and I promise you'll be learning English in a fun and easy way. Stay with us until the end because together we'll make real changes in your life. Let's make English feel comfortable in our minds and hearts. Now, I know it can feel strange to think in English at first. We're used to our native language, and our thoughts come so easily there. But imagine how much easier it would be if we could skip the translation. If English could become a part of how we think, feel, and express. When we think in English, we can speak faster with more confidence. We don't feel lost for words. So if you want to speak English fluently, this is the path to follow. Stick with me and we'll learn how to make English feel natural. All right, let's start with a story. My name is Olivia, and I remember the first time I heard the idea of thinking in English. I was about to start a new job, and English was going to be very important. I felt nervous. My native language was my comfort zone, and I loved it, but English was a door to a new world. Thinking in English felt like magic to me, like a skill that only experts could master. I thought, how can I get there? One day I was sitting in a cafe, reading a book. Suddenly I heard a couple sitting next to me. They were speaking English, and they sounded so natural. I could see the way they laughed, how comfortable they felt. They were joking, sharing stories, even using funny words. I thought, I want that. I want to feel that easy with English, but how could I make that happen? I went home, thinking about what I saw. I realized I needed a way to bring English into my thoughts. I needed to make it a friend, like something close to me. That night I made a promise. I said to myself, I will try to think in English every day, just a little, and see where it takes me. Day 1, small steps. The next morning I woke up and thought, okay, let's try, but my mind was blank. I didn't know how to begin. I started with small things. I looked at my room and tried to name things in English: bed, window, door. Then I looked at my clothes: shirt, jeans, shoes. I smiled. It was a start, a small one, but it was real. And as I moved through the day, I kept doing it. When I was making breakfast, I thought, bread, butter, coffee. It was simple. Yes, but it was my first step to letting English into my thoughts. The words started to feel less strange, like they belonged to me. Day 2, new words. The next day I felt more comfortable, so I decided to add more words. I tried to think in sentences this time. I am eating breakfast. I like coffee. I kept it very basic, very short. But something was happening. I could feel English coming into my mind, slowly. It was almost like I was opening a door, a little bit each day. Sometimes I felt silly talking to myself in English, but I didn't stop. I knew this was important. I told myself, Olivia, keep going. This will make you strong, and I did. I stayed with it, and I was patient. Heart-touching moments, finding confidence. One evening, I was with my best friend, Amelia. She knew I was trying to learn English, and she always encouraged me. I shared with her my little trick about thinking in English. She smiled and said, "Olivia, I believe in you. Soon you will speak English just like you're speaking your own language. I'm proud of you." Hearing her words touched my heart. Sometimes just having one person believe in you can make all the difference. And that's when I realized English was not just a language. It was a bridge, connecting me to new ideas, to new people, to confidence. A simple secret: talk to yourself. One of the best tricks I found was talking to myself. Yes, it felt funny at first, but it was magic. I would look at myself in the mirror and say simple sentences. "Hello, Olivia. How are you today?" And I'd answer, "I'm good, thank you." It was like a little game, but it made English feel close, like a friend. Sometimes, when I felt sad or nervous, I'd use English to encourage myself. "You can do it, Olivia. Don't give up," and somehow, hearing those words in English felt powerful. It was like I was becoming a new version of myself, a stronger one. Adding emotions to your thoughts. One day I learned an amazing trick from a teacher. She told me, if you want to think in English, add emotions to your words. This made so much sense. So, I tried it. I started thinking about happy moments in English. I remembered the time I went to the beach, and I thought, "I feel happy." I love the ocean. Then I thought of a sad time, and I said, "I feel sad." But it's okay. English became a way to feel and express my emotions. This practice made me feel closer to the language. I wasn't just learning English, I was living it, feeling it. It was a beautiful discovery. At this point, I was no longer just trying to think in English. I was beginning to feel in English, to understand that language isn't just words, it's feelings, thoughts, memories. And every day, I was getting better. I could feel my fluency growing and my confidence rising. Now, I want you to try this too. Try thinking in English just a little every day. Start with small words, simple sentences. Let them become a part of you. Shall we continue this journey together? There's so much more to discover. I'll share the next steps, the ways you can bring English fully into your life, into your thoughts, and into your heart. We're just beginning, and there's a whole new world waiting for us. All right, let's continue our journey of thinking in English together. Imagine you're on a path. Every step you take, English becomes a little closer, a little clearer. And soon, it won't feel foreign or hard. It'll feel natural, like it's been part of you all along. Building simple thoughts in English. One morning, I decided to try thinking in English as soon as I woke up. Instead of saying, "Good morning" in my native language, I said it in English just to myself, "Good morning, Olivia." Then I thought about what I wanted to do that day. I will eat breakfast. Then I will go for a walk. I was still using simple words, but it felt like a conversation, like English was becoming part of my everyday life. This small habit made a big change. Every morning I added a new sentence or a new word. Soon, my mind got used to English in those early moments. It didn't feel strange anymore. It felt like a little routine, a habit I enjoyed. Describing my day in English. To grow my thoughts, I started describing things around me in English. While walking to the store, I'd think, The weather is nice. The sun is shining. I see people walking. It was easy, short sentences, but it kept my mind thinking in English. I even tried to say a few sentences out loud when no one was around. I feel happy today, or this coffee smells good. My mind slowly began to accept English as a natural part of how I thought. Sometimes I'd smile at myself and think, Olivia, you're really doing it. Your thinking in English, it gave me a little spark of pride, knowing I was growing, little by little. Moments of inspiration. One day, while thinking in English, I remembered a special moment from my past. It was a time I felt truly happy, and I decided to relive it in English. I thought, I remember when I was a child. I went to the park with my family. We had fun. I laughed a lot, and just like that, English was not just words, it was memories. It was emotions. Thinking of my memories in English made me feel closer to the language, like it wasn't just something I was learning, it was something I was experiencing, something meaningful. That day, I knew English was becoming a part of me. Facing challenges with English. Some days were harder than others. I remember a time I felt discouraged. I was trying to explain my thoughts in English to a friend, but I couldn't find the right words. I felt embarrassed and even a little sad. But then my friend smiled and said, Olivia, don't worry. You're doing great. Just keep going. Her encouragement touched my heart. I realized that everyone has moments of struggle, but those moments are what make us stronger. Learning English isn't just about words, it's about resilience, about courage. And sometimes it's about finding strength through others' kindness. Practicing English with emotions. One day I tried a new idea. I started thinking about my dreams in English. I thought, one day I want to travel. I want to see new places, meet new people. It felt exciting to imagine my dreams in English, almost like I was making them come alive. Using English to express my hopes and dreams made it feel like my heart was speaking in English. I also thought about my fears. I whispered to myself, it's okay to feel afraid sometimes. I can be brave. Hearing these words in English gave me comfort. It was like the language itself was a friend, one that believed in me. English as a way to connect. One of the most beautiful moments came when I shared my story with a new friend. Her name was Mia, and she, too, was learning English. When I told her about my journey, she looked at me with bright eyes and said, Olivia, you inspire me. I want to try thinking in English, too. Her words made my heart feel so full. I realized that learning English was not just for me, it was something I could share with others. It was a way to connect, to inspire, to be a friend to others who were on the same journey. English had become a bridge, connecting me to new people, new stories, new dreams. The power of daily practice. As weeks passed, I noticed changes in myself. English started coming more easily to me. I no longer felt afraid to speak. I didn't pause as much to find the right words. I felt free, light, like English was a song I had learned to sing. Each day, I continued my little practices. In the morning, I'd think about my plans in English. Throughout the day, I'd describe things around me. At night, I'd reflect on my day. Today was a good day. I learned something new. I feel happy these small practices became my daily routine, and they filled me with confidence. Thinking in English had become my habit, my comfort. And it felt beautiful. leaving you with a thought. Now, here we are. You followed my story, my journey to thinking in English. And I want to leave you with one thought: learning a language is not just about words. It's about feelings, memories, dreams. It's about finding courage in small moments and connecting with people in beautiful ways. And remember, this journey doesn't end here. Each day there's more to discover, more to learn. Every time you think in English, you're growing, you're becoming stronger. So keep going, keep dreaming, and let English become a part of you too. Shall we continue this story? There's so much more to explore, so many ways to bring English into our lives. This is just the beginning, my friend. Let's keep going together. I can feel the excitement as we dive deeper into making English a part of our everyday life. Imagine it as a little adventure we're sharing. Creating simple conversations with yourself. One morning, I decided to have a little talk with myself in English. I sat by my window, looked outside, and said, "Hello, Olivia. How are you today?" I answered myself, "I'm good. The weather looks nice. I think I will go for a walk later." At first, it felt funny to talk to myself, but then I realized I was practicing. And more importantly, I was creating a little conversation. Each day, I added more. I asked myself, what do you want to do today? Or what was something nice that happened yesterday? These simple conversations felt comforting. I didn't have to worry about making mistakes, I just let the words flow. Over time, talking to myself in English became like talking to a friend, someone who was always there, ready to listen. Learning new words through feelings. One afternoon, I felt a little sad. I had tried to understand a story in English, but it was hard. I didn't know many of the words, and it made me feel small, like I wasn't good enough. I thought to myself, why is learning English so hard? Then I paused. Instead of feeling down, I decided to make this a learning moment. I looked up a few words from the story, and I whispered them to myself, brave, strong hope. These words made me feel better. I started to think of English as more than just a language. It was a way to talk to my own heart. Each time I felt an emotion, whether it was happiness, sadness, excitement, I tried to find a word for it in English. I'd say, I am happy, or I feel excited. Learning these words through my feelings made them more powerful, more real. Writing simple thoughts in a journal. One day, I had an idea. Why not write my thoughts down? I found an empty notebook and decided to keep a journal just for myself. Each day, I wrote one sentence. It could be about anything: my day, my dreams, even just the weather. I remember one entry very well. It was simple, but it meant a lot to me. I wrote, "Today I am proud of myself. I spoke English without fear." That one sentence felt like a little victory, a reminder that I was growing. Keeping a journal helped me to see my progress. Some days I wrote about struggles, like today. I didn't understand everything, but other days I wrote about my small victories. These sentences showed me that every day I was moving forward, even if it was just a little bit. Connecting English to my dreams. One night, while looking at the stars, I thought about my dreams. I whispered, one day, I want to travel. I want to visit new places, see new faces. Just saying this in English made my dreams feel more alive. I imagined myself in another country, meeting people, sharing stories all in English. Dreams have a special power. When we think about our hopes in English, they feel closer, almost possible. So I began to connect English with my dreams every night. I'd say, I hope to be strong. I hope to make new friends. I want to be happy. This practice filled my heart with hope. English was no longer just a language to me, it was my key to a bigger world, to endless possibilities. Finding beauty in simple words. Over time, I found joy in simple words. Smile, kindness, love, friend, each word held a story, a memory, a feeling. I started using these words to describe my day, my thoughts, my hopes. One day I was talking to a friend and she noticed. She said, "Olivia, you seem different. There's a light in your words." Her words touched my heart. I realized that English was helping me express myself in ways I hadn't before. It wasn't just words, it was a part of who I was becoming. When English feels like home. One evening, I was sitting with my family, watching a show in English. For the first time, I understood the story without subtitles. I smiled to myself, thinking, I'm really doing it. English was no longer a stranger, it was becoming a friend, a familiar place where I could be myself. That night, I closed my eyes and thanked myself for being patient, for not giving up. I realized that English wasn't just a skill I was learning, it was a journey I was creating, step by step, word by word. And so, we continue. This journey is still going, my friend. Every day there's a new word to learn, a new memory to create. And I want to invite you to keep going, too. Let's make English a part of our hearts, our dreams, our lives. Together we can keep building this story, one beautiful word at a time. All right, let's keep going together. This journey we're on is a beautiful one, filled with discoveries and little moments of joy. Practicing English with nature. One morning I went for a walk in a park. I looked around and thought, the trees are tall. The birds are singing. The sun feels warm. I kept describing everything I saw. This simple habit helped me feel connected to English and to nature at the same time. Then, I picked a flower and thought, this flower is soft. It is pink. Saying these small things in English felt calming. I could see that English wasn't just in books or on screens, it was all around me, in the beauty of nature. Every time I saw something special, I'd whisper a few words in English. I'd say, the sky is blue or the air is fresh. This way, English became part of my environment, a language I could use to see the world. Making new friends in English. One day I met someone new in the park. Her name was Mia, and she was learning English too. We decided to practice together. At first, we both felt a little shy, but soon we were laughing, sharing stories, and even helping each other find the right words. Mia told me about her dream to travel. She said, "One day, I want to visit New York. I want to see the big city and speak English with people there." Her excitement made me feel inspired. I thought, maybe one day I can go to a place like that too. Having a friend to talk with in English made a big difference. It felt like we were building a bridge together, connecting our dreams, hopes, and stories. We would meet often, practicing our words, sharing our thoughts. English was no longer just a language, it was a way for us to be friends. Using English to encourage myself. Some days I felt a little discouraged. Learning English wasn't always easy, and there were times I wanted to give up. But then I started using English to encourage myself. I'd say things like, "Olivia, you can do it," or "It's okay to make mistakes." Each time I said these words, they made me feel stronger. It was like I was my own coach cheering myself on. I'd say, "Don't be afraid, just try," and with each try, I felt a bit more confident. Encouraging myself in English made the language feel like a friend, a voice that cared for me. It helped me find courage, even when things felt hard. And soon, every time I faced a challenge, I knew exactly what to say to myself. Keep going, Olivia. You're doing great. Dreaming in English. One night, something amazing happened. I had a dream and it was in English. I remember feeling surprised, like I was in a different world. In my dream, I was talking to someone, laughing and sharing stories, all in English. When I woke up, I smiled, realizing that English had truly become a part of me. Dreaming in English felt like a big step. It made me feel closer to my goal, like I was getting more comfortable with the language. And it showed me that even when I was resting, my mind was still learning, still growing. This dream was like a little gift, a reminder that I was on the right path. It gave me more energy, more excitement to keep practicing every day. Sharing my journey with others. One day I decided to share my journey with my family. I told them about my little habits, my thoughts, and even my dream. They listened, smiling and encouraging me. It felt good to share my progress, to let them know that learning English was something important to me. My mom said, "Olivia, I'm proud of you. You're working hard," and it shows. Her words warmed my heart. I felt more motivated than ever, knowing my family was cheering me on. And that day, I promised myself that I would keep going, not just for me, but for everyone who believed in me. The joy of small victories. Each time I learned a new word, it felt like a small victory. I'd smile and think, yes, I did it. I learned something new. These small victories made me happy and kept me excited about learning. I started celebrating each little step, no matter how small. I'd say, "Today, I understood a new sentence," or "Today, I spoke without fear." These moments showed me that learning is a journey, and each step is worth celebrating. A promise to keep going. And here we are, dear friend, still on this journey. Every moment, every word, every memory has brought us closer to thinking and feeling in English. We have learned that English is more than just a language. It's a way to connect, to grow, to dream. So let's make a promise to keep going, to keep learning, and to never give up. Because each day we are getting closer to our goal, one beautiful word at a time. Are you ready to continue this story with me? There's so much more to explore, so many more dreams to share.